with la crica. Listen, we're gonna leave this one like this, man. I'll get back to the side. I need to do the other side. It is easy, I promise. Once you start doing your own hair and you get used to it, you know English more though. I feel like I only like lost my Spanish a little bit because I've been living by myself for a while and I'm not around people that speak Spanish. So once you're not speaking your language as much, of course you're bound to like lose it a little bit, but I can still write completely in Spanish. I can write in Spanish, I could read in Spanish. I still speak it. If you talking to me, I'm gonna understand everything you're saying. Y yo te puedo hablar para atrás, pero algunas palabras, pues tú sabes, tengo que pensarlo un poquito. Pero yo hablo el español perfecto. No soy bruta, no soy un Rosado, tú sabes. Cuando voy para Puerto Rico y me quedo ahí un ratito, me regresa. Solamente necesito ir a mi isla por un ratito y tú sabes, estar con mi abuela. Obviamente tengo que hablar español con mi país porque mi país no habla inglés. Y mi mamá me habla español algunas veces, pero cuando estamos haciendo cosas importantes, pues necesito que me hable en inglés. Tú sabes. Pero yo hablo español, no soy un Rosado. Español es mi primer lenguaje y pues cuando me mudé para Filadelfia aprendí el inglés. Y por eso tú sabes, yo hablo el inglés así porque aprendí en Filadelfia. Ni modo. I literally learned English in Philly. I was in ESL, ELA, and everything. Every program they had to learn English, I was in it. And then by the time I graduated elementary school, I already knew English, you know what I mean? So I moved out of Puerto Rico when I was in 3rd grade. I was going into 4th grade. I remember it was just like a random day. It was a random day. My dad was in trouble with the law. And one day we just got up and my mom's like, we're moving out of Puerto Rico. And I'm like, what the heck? And this is when I went to the school, Laurentino Estrella, the school that the guy had brought up earlier. And then I guess we ran from the law. And we moved to Philly, and that's when I started going to school. I started 4th grade in Elkin Elementary School in Philly. It's in North Philly. And that's when I started learning English. I graduated elementary school, then I went to Stetson. I don't know if y'all know. Stetson is still standing to this day. I went to Stetson. It's a charter school. I went there for a while, and then my mom joined the army because just Philly was not doing it. Like, people was dying every other day. People was breaking into her car. Like, it was just bad. I lived like right by a corner. Like the corner is just a mess. And if you live on a corner, it's just a mess. So, I went to Stetson, period. Yes, I low-key loved Stetson, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I made it to be a stallion. I never made it to be an executive, though. I made it to be an stallion. I went to Elkin and Stetson. I'm in high school now. Ooh. See, we kind of live the same life a little bit. But what's it called? Yeah, my mom just couldn't do it no more. Like, she bought a house in Philly and everything. And, excuse me. So, do I look fat? I don't like looking fat. I need to fix that. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I keep getting sidetracked. My mom joined the army, right? Let me see if I can remember, like, my whole life in one. Real quick, summarize. So she did join the army, and I ended up going to Cali. I ended up going to Cali because my mom was married at the time to... I loved him, but then I didn't love him, They was married for a while. But anyways, like, why didn't he join the army? Why did my mama have to join the army? But she wanted to do it, Like I said, she came from a military family. So she joined the army. She went to basic training for like 3-4 months. And I ended up moving to California for a little while with my cousins and my aunt and shit. Because I wasn't going to be with 2 men, like 2 boys. They weren't going to understand me. Like, I felt like that was just about to be hell on earth. So I ended up moving to Cali for a little bit while my mom was in basic. Then my mom came back from basic and they stationed her in Watertown, New York, like at Fort Drum. We didn't live on base though. Ugh, I would never live on base. We moved to New York for a while. I started school. Everything was good, you know. I was enjoying my new life. Like, my mom being in the army brought a lot of benefits to us. So yeah, and I've always been used to like getting up and moving, so it really wasn't a big thing for me to like move to Watertown or whatever. After that, my mom volunteered to go deploy. She volunteered. They didn't pick her. No, my mama, strong ass, volunteered to go to Afghanistan. So she ended up getting deployed a couple, maybe like a year after, not even a year, a couple months after we moved to New York. She ended up getting deployed. So boom, we had to pack up our stuff again. And she was in Afghanistan for like over 18 months, literally. I missed my mom so much. Like, I did not know I could live without my mom for that long. So while my mom was in, by this time I'm already like, I think I was in like 7th grade, if I'm not mistaken. 7th grade, I ended up moving to Puerto Rico. I moved back to Puerto Rico when my mom got deployed to Afghanistan. Me and my brother moved with my grandma or whatever. And me and my grandma started bumping heads OD, y'all. Like, I was living in Puerto Rico for a little while. And before my mom came back from Afghanistan, I ended up moving to Florida and I left my brother there. My brother stayed in PR with my grandma and I ended up moving to Florida, and that's when I got skinny. Because when I was living with my grandma, she was feeding me like a man. Like, literally, she was feeding me like I was a grown-ass man. And that's just Puerto Rican households. Like, I was living in PR. I was eating. I was like a ball. I was literally so chunky. So chunky. And, yeah, me and my brother was fighting all the time. You know, we was sharing. Like, my grandma has, like, a house. And ella vive, like, en un rincón, kind of. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But it's, like, you got to go through mad, like, kind of look like a forest a little bit. And my grandpa had built her house in the back, and then it was my grandpa's house, my grandma's house, and then in the back of my grandpa's house there was like another house. It was like two rooms and a bathroom. So it was like our own studio, kind of. You know what I mean? Yes, kind of como un campo, pero no es un campo. Por eso no dije campo, porque no es campo. Pero kind of like, if you want to have an idea, then yeah, think campo. But anyways, me and my brother stayed in the back, so we both had our own rooms and whatever, but we would fight. Like, we was thumping in that like all the time. I remember one time we even started fighting in school. Like, one time we had the same class. You know how you have, well, I don't know how it is now, but we used to have like a chill period. You know how you have like what, seven periods in a day. One of them was a chill period, and they gave me and my brother the same one. And one time we fought in school. Like, I remember I was so embarrassed. Like, we was arguing and I went to sit down and he pulled my chair, and like it just turned into such a big thing. Like, we literally almost started thumping in school. So I just was writing my mom, because you know my mom really didn't have a phone from Afghanistan. So I would like write her and tell her, and sometimes when she could get to a phone, she would call the school and talk to us, and we would be so happy. Like, they'll be like, your mother has, like, your mother called the school. I'll be running to the office like, oh, my mom. Because, you know, we really, like, when your mom is deployed or your mom is in Afghanistan, or sorry, when your mom is deployed or your mom is in basic training, you don't have contact with them. So I used to run and try to talk to my mom, like, as much as I could whenever she could call. Anyways, I was telling her on the phone, I was snitching at school, like, me and Jonathan keep fighting, like, I don't want to be here no more. I was just telling her, like, it's just bad. I'm like, me and grandma keep getting into it, and I just can't live here no more, Mom. And she listened to me. Yo, one thing about my mama, she always listened to me. Like, she never make me feel like unheard, you know what I mean? Like, ever. Even from far away, she never made me feel unheard. This is why she's really my best friend. Like, I would do anything for my mom. But anyways, she ended up, you know, getting in contact with me, and she made arrangements for me to move to Florida. So this is when I got skinny, because mind you, this is when I was still fat. Girl, I was so fat. Not even fat. I wasn't fat. I was just unhealthy. I was ripping out of my jeans when I was going. I went to Ramey Academy. I went to Ramey in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. It's like a military school, but they still speak Spanish and everything. It's just like for military kids. I was ripping out of my pants. Like, it was so hard for me to find khaki pants, and the one khaki pants that I loved, they kept ripping in the butt part, and I would literally sew them back up. I kept sewing the same pants. I know people was looking at me with the same pants all the time, because it was the only pants I could find that fit me right. So literally just imagine how like thick I was. I was just like a little ball or whatever. So I ended up moving to Florida. I moved to not Rockledge. I moved like around Cocoa Beach kind of. I lived there for a while. I went to McNair. I went to McNair school for a little bit. And when I was living there, boy, oh my gosh, I got so skinny because I wasn't eating the same. I wasn't drinking the same thing. Like I barely drank soda. The lady that I was living, yeah, I went to McNair, girl. I went to McNair for a while. And then, what's it called? The lady that I was living with, I thank her every day because she literally built me to be who I am, basically. Like, not who I am, but how I look, kind of. McNair is a middle school. Yeah, it's a middle school. Living in McNair was totally different, or living in Florida was totally different. Okay, wait, let me not lose my train of thought. So then I moved to Florida. You see how much I moved around? Like, oh my gosh. When I was living in Florida, I was living with one of my mom's friends, close friends, that we met in the military as well. Well, she met in the military. The girl's husband was in the military, and we all became like family and everything. And they ended up moving to Florida after living in New York. So she told me that I could move with her for a while, and it was so strict. She was strict. She was super strict. Like, we couldn't drink soda in her house. We couldn't have like side snacks. I couldn't eat hot chips. Nothing. I got skinny. I was in a drought because at my grandma's house I was eating everything. Like in PR, I was eating anything that I wanted, you feel me? So when I moved to her, it was like I felt like I was in jail. I was like, damn. I was complaining to my mom. She ended up giving me a phone, and she would get in contact with us a little bit more. And I was telling my mom, like, she don't let me have no soda. She don't let me eat nothing here. Not even nothing. She wasn't starving me. She was just she's one of those women that like is very on point with everything. Like, wake up, breakfast, snack, lunch. Like, I was eating. I just wasn't eating like I used to, you know? She was just very structured. She had a structured living for her children. So I just had to get into routine with them. And God bless her soul. She made me skinny. Like, when I tell you I got skinny and I loved myself, I was like, thank God. Like, thank you, Lord. But yeah, I still used to sneak snacks in, and I would get in trouble for it. I literally would get in so much trouble for it. Like, one time I bought a whole bunch of snacks because my mom would send me money. I bought a whole bunch of snacks from school, and I hid them around my bed. And I guess she had went to make my bed or do something in my room, I don't know. And she found all my snacks. She threw them all away. She said, in this house, you don't eat like you don't eat this. I'm like, damn, a bitch can't eat Hot Puffs or nothing. Like, I couldn't eat nothing. You know, the only soda I had around that time was ginger ale. That was the only soda that she allowed in her house. Ginger ale, and you can only drink it when you're eating a meal. Yup. Super structured. Super structured. Like, yeah, girl, I couldn't eat Hot Puffs. I was at school, stuff in my face. Like, at my school, you could buy snacks and stuff at McNair. Boy, the way I was buying snacks in there, yeah, I couldn't even eat Hot Puffs. I was obsessed with Hot Puffs at that time. But anyways, you know, she would be a little lenient. When I was living with her, I probably ate McDonald's twice. And I lived with her for a while. She let us eat McDonald's twice. And I only got a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger and fries, most likely. Yes, I got so skinny. I was just on a routine, you know. And then after that, I went back to New York. No, I didn't go back to New York. After that, after it was time for my mom to come back or whatever, I went back to Puerto Rico. Mind you, when I left Puerto Rico, I was fat. When I came back to Puerto Rico, I was skinny. And I only went back to Puerto Rico to flaunt my new body, to flaunt me. You know, I was that girl. Like, y'all was calling me fat. Y'all was bullying me. Just like they was bullying me in New York. They literally would bully the fuck out of me when I was living in Watertown. And that's why I became so aggressive and mean, because I felt like I had to stick up for myself. You feel me? Like, I'm just this chunky girl. That's all y'all got to say is that I'm chunky. So now I'm about to be mean as fuck. Excuse my language. And y'all can't come for me. So I started being mean as hell, so nobody could come for me. You feel me? Like, oh, congratulations, I'm big, cool, what? Like, bitch, what? Then what? Like, you feel me? So I've been like having that little what's up type of aggression to me. I feel like I was forced to be like that. So I went back to Puerto Rico. I wear my little shorts with my little crop top, and my hair was red now. And I walked around the school, and people was not noticing me. Like, literally, I was basically just saying hi to everyone because my brother was leaving the school. So it wasn't like I just randomly went to the school. My brother was being removed from the school so we could go back to New York. And I was looking so cute. People was taking pictures with me, not in like a famous way. I wasn't doing social media at this time, but I just was showing off. Like, what? I literally have pictures. Like, let me see. I feel like I still have pictures of me and my friends. Like, when I saw them again, they was like, oh my gosh, you look so good. And boom, cool. That was cool. Then I moved to New York. I moved back to New York. Mind you, when I left New York, I was fat as shit. I went back to New York. This is when I started high school in New York. I started 9th grade. Everybody was on my body. On my body. Like, I just turned into a new girl. And I was doing social media at the time. Like, I wasn't famous, because I'm not famous. But I had my little S Mugga days. I don't know if y'all remember, but that's what my Instagram handle was, S Mugga. And I still would, you know, look cute, post my little videos, post my little pictures.